Hi, I'm Katie Padiak, and this is Montessori Monday. On Mondays, I break down one concept in Montessori philosophy so you can understand what it means, and I'll give you some ideas on how you can add things to your home or ideas in your parenting that can support this aspect of philosophy. So this week, I am going to start a 12-part series on sensitive periods. If you haven't checked out my Montessori Monday about sensitive periods, head back to check that out from last week. But this week we're going to focus just on movement. So as a refresher, a sensitive period is a span of time during which a child is super in tune to their environment and they're looking to gain a specific skill or build a trait. So for movement, this happens from birth to age 4.5. So during this time, the child is seeking opportunities to develop movement. So they're coordinating gross motor movement and all the way to 4.5 where they're really refining their fine motor skills. This sensitive period is demonstrated by this unwavering dedication from the child to master these big physical milestones. So think of a baby who has just started rolling, or maybe a baby who's starting to scoot just to get the toy that's just rolled out of reach. They do not stop. They persist, even in the greatest challenge. They don't need your encouragement. They don't need praise. They just try and try and try until they've gotten it because they must. They're in this sensitive period. The intrinsic motivation to driving them forward, they're seeking this movement in all ways: crawling, scooting, walking, pulling up. Once a toddler, he is walking and walking around, but he's making more opportunities for movement than is really required. So as an adult, we could do a real quick trip, but that toddler is trying to find an excuse to move across the room to complete this task. Through movement, the child is always learning. So freedom to move gives a child the opportunity to learn based on his own freedom and desires to move in the space. Each moment your child is practicing having an opportunity for movement allows them to refine their skills. So think of a 3-year-old. So you might see them running and then all of a sudden they start to gallop for the first time. No one has shown them how to gallop. It just happens. Their movements are being refined. And in an effort to gallop, that 3-year-old turns into a 4-year-old who just all of a sudden starts skipping. And it happens without much effort or intention. It is just part of the development. It's that movement that affords the practice and the confidence for the child to attempt more challenging movement. So you can support your child during this time by creating a safe place for them to have these movements. Observe your child as they develop so you can make changes to accommodate their brand new abilities. So you're going to remove things that are dangerous, or especially for that young toddler who's just walking, things that you would not like to get broken, so that your child can still be able to explore without having to hear no or don't touch that or move away over and over again. Another thing that you can do is really understand that movement is part of the child's work and it needs to be allowed. So avoiding long periods of time where you're requiring your child to be still, and really give your child the chance to move when they need to. You're gonna have to adjust your expectations. Things are gonna take longer. You think about going on a walk somewhere. It's more about the walk. It's a stroll for you, and maybe the destination is not what is required. You're really enjoying that time. The toddler's work is to move and walking themselves, squatting down to pick things up. They're building those movements and they're practicing. So when we adults are able to prepare our mind to follow the needs of the child, we can really adjust the expectation that things are going to happen quickly or that things will be really easy. So if you're planning to go to the park, instead maybe just focus on the walk is the destination. For an older child who maybe is really into doing stickers, they want to use the stickers and for like an hour, just sticking and peel and stick stickers on paper for as long as he needs to refine that very fine motor movement. Repetition and opportunity are great aids to this period. So we really need to remove these obstacles for our child so that they can have the most fruitful, sensitive period. And this is going to happen with or without us. So the more we can do to allow for this movement to be developed, the better our child will be.